My beloved child, listen closely, because something was decided about you in the courts of heaven before you ever clicked on this message. A verdict was issued concerning your name, your situation, your future, and everything that has been troubling your heart. The enemy fought desperately to keep you from hearing what I am about to say. He distracted you with notifications, with worries, with that nagging voice in your head, telling you that you have more important things to do. But you stopped. And that single decision to pause and receive these words has just shifted something in the spiritual realm that will change everything for you. I am your shepherd. Let those words sink deep into the very core of who you are. I am your shepherd, and because I am your shepherd, nothing shall you lack. Absolutely nothing shall you lack, because the one who holds the universe in the palm of his hand has chosen to be your personal shepherd, walking beside you through every valley, leading you beside every still water, preparing tables before you in the presence of every enemy, whoever thought they could defeat you. If these words are landing in your spirit right now, whisper out loud, I receive it. Say it quietly. Let those words anchor you. I need you to understand something profound about what it means that I am your shepherd. This is not a distant metaphor or a religious phrase you memorized as a child in Sunday school. This is the deepest reality of your existence. A shepherd does not simply observe the sheep from afar. A shepherd does not write instructions on a wall and hope the sheep follow them. A shepherd knows each sheep by name, knows their personality, knows their tendencies, knows when they are afraid, knows when they are wandering, knows when they are hungry, and knows when they are injured. I know you in this way. I know you more intimately than any human being has ever known you or will ever know you. I know the thoughts you think before they form in your mind. I know the words you speak before they leave your lips. I know the fears that grip your heart in the middle of the night when everyone else is sleeping and you lie awake wondering if things will ever get better. I know the dreams you have been too afraid to speak out loud because you worry that saying them might jinx them, or that people might laugh at the audacity of your hopes. I know the pain you carry from wounds that happened so long ago that you have almost convinced yourself they do not affect you anymore. But they do, and I see them, and I want to heal them. Close your eyes for just 20 seconds. Breathe in slowly, breathe out slowly, and say silently, Speak to me, shepherd. Let your soul unclench. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. David wrote those words not from a place of ease, but from a place of deep experience, with both the valley of shadows and the green pastures of restoration. David knew what it meant to be a shepherd himself, before he ever understood what it meant to have me as his shepherd. He spent years in the wilderness with his father's sheep, years that seemed insignificant and wasted to everyone around him. His own father did not think to include him when the prophet Samuel came looking for the next king of Israel. Jesse presented all of his sons, the strong ones, the impressive ones, the ones who looked like they could lead nations. But he left David out in the fields with the sheep, because who would ever think to look for a king among the lambs and the shepherd's crooks? Then I saw David. I saw the heart that beat within his chest. I saw the courage that would face lions and bears with nothing but a sling and a stone. I saw the tenderness that would compose songs that would comfort millions of souls across thousands of years. I saw the king inside the shepherd boy, and I chose him. I see the same potential inside of you. You may feel overlooked right now. You may feel like you have been left out in the field, while everyone else gets considered for promotion or partnership or praise. I see what others cannot see, because they look at the outward appearance, but I look at the heart. And your heart is beautiful to me. Your heart is precious to me. Your heart, with all its wounds and all its hopes and all its fears and all its love, is exactly the kind of heart I delight in shepherding. Do not despise the season of obscurity you may be walking through right now. David needed to develop patience by waiting through long nights for danger to approach. He needed to develop courage by facing predators that were bigger and stronger than him. He needed to develop tenderness by caring for creatures that could not care for themselves. He needed to develop trust in me by watching me deliver him from situations that should have ended in death, but instead ended in victory. Every season of your life has purpose. I am not wasting your time. I am not forgetting about you. I am preparing you for something greater than you can currently imagine. The green pastures are coming. The still waters are ahead. The restoration of your soul is already in progress. But sometimes the path to green pastures leads through wilderness seasons. Sometimes the path to still waters leads through rushing torrents that threaten to sweep you away. Sometimes the path to soul restoration leads through experiences that feel like they are breaking you apart, rather than putting you back together. Trust the shepherd. Trust that I know where I am leading you. Trust that I can see around corners you cannot see around. Trust that I have already gone ahead and prepared the way for you. He makes me lie down in green pastures. Notice that I make you lie down. This is not a suggestion. This is not an option on a menu of spiritual experiences you can choose from. I make you lie down because I know you. I know that you have a tendency to keep pushing, keep striving, keep working, keep worrying, even when your body and soul are screaming for rest. I know that you have been conditioned by this world to believe that your value comes from your productivity, that resting is laziness, that taking time to be still is somehow wasting precious time that could be spent accomplishing something. But I am your shepherd, and I see that you are exhausted. I see that you have been running on empty for far too long. I see that your soul is depleted, and your heart is weary, and your mind is full of concerns and responsibilities that were never meant to be carried by human shoulders alone. So I make you lie down. I bring circumstances into your life that force you to stop, because you will not stop voluntarily. That illness that has been slowing you down, I allowed it, because your body needed rest and you would not listen. That door that closed in your career, I allowed it because you were burning out and you could not see it, but I could. That relationship that ended, I allowed it because you were losing yourself trying to be everything for someone who did not appreciate your worth. I am not punishing you when I make you lie down. I am protecting you. I am loving you. I am shepherding you toward the state of being that I want you to experience, no matter what your external circumstances look like. Green pastures represent abundance, nourishment, peace, safety, satisfaction. These are not things that depend on your bank account balance or your relationship status or your job title. or your health report. These are things I give to those who trust me to be their shepherd. You can experience green pastures in your soul while walking through a financial valley. You can experience green pastures in your spirit while facing a health crisis. You can experience green pastures in your heart while grieving a devastating loss. Because the green pastures are not about what surrounds you externally, they are about who walks beside you eternally. And I am beside you. I am your shepherd, and in my presence there is fullness of joy. In my presence there is peace. Put your hand over your heart now and say out loud, I will rest in you. Make it your decision in the moment. He leads me beside still waters. The still waters represent refreshment for your soul. In the ancient world, sheep would not drink from rushing, turbulent waters because the sound and movement frightened them. A good shepherd knew this about his sheep, so he would lead them to places where the water was calm and quiet, where they could drink deeply without fear. I know what frightens you. I know what makes your heart race and your mind spin and your anxiety spike. And I am leading you away from the turbulent waters toward places of stillness and peace. But you must follow. You must trust my leading, even when you cannot see where the still waters are. You must take the next step in the direction I am guiding you, even when every part of you wants to stay where you are, because at least the familiar chaos feels safer than the unknown path. The still waters are waiting for you. Refreshment for your weary soul is just ahead, but you have to keep following. You have to keep trusting. You have to keep believing that your shepherd knows where he is going, even when the path makes no sense to you. I have led countless millions of my children to the still waters over thousands of years. I have never lost one who trusted me. I have never abandoned one who followed me. I have never failed to bring restoration to one who believed my promises. You will not be the first exception. You will drink from the still waters. You will find the refreshment your soul desperately needs. Just keep following me. He restores my soul. Your soul needs restoration. I know this because I created you, and I know exactly how your soul was designed to function. Your soul was designed to live in constant communion with me, to draw its strength and peace and joy from my presence, to be filled with my spirit and directed by my wisdom. The betrayals wound it, the losses leave it aching. The failures make it doubt itself. The criticisms make it shrink back. The fear makes it forget who it really is. Over time, the soul that was designed to soar becomes a soul that can barely crawl. The soul that was designed to sing becomes a soul that can barely whisper. The soul that was designed to shine becomes a soul that can barely flicker. But I am in the business of restoration. This is what I do. I take broken things and make them whole again. I take depleted things and fill them up again. I take wounded things and heal them again. I take lost things and find them again. Your soul is not beyond my ability to restore. No matter how depleted you feel, no matter how wounded you are, no matter how lost you have become, I can restore you. I am already restoring you. Every word you are hearing right now is part of the restoration process. Every moment you spend in my presence is adding back what the world has taken from you. Do not give up now. Do not walk away thinking that you are too far gone for restoration. You are not. I am your shepherd, and restoring souls is what I do. Speak this now. Restore my hope. Say it aloud and claim it. Voice the need. that starts the change. He guides me along the right paths for His name's sake. The paths I am leading you on are the right paths, even when they do not feel right. I understand that some of the directions your life has taken have confused you deeply. You thought you were headed one way, and suddenly the path turned in a completely different direction. You thought you knew what the next chapter would look like, and then everything changed without warning. You have asked me why so many times. Why this? Why now? Why me? Why not someone else? And I have not always answered directly, because sometimes the answers only make sense in retrospect. Sometimes you have to walk the whole path before you can look back and see why every twist and turn was necessary. But I want you to know that I am not leading you randomly. There is a purpose to every path I guide you along. There is a reason for every direction I take you. And the reason is not just for your benefit, though it certainly includes your benefit. The reason is also for my name's sake. I am building something in your life that will bring glory to me. I am writing a story with your existence that will cause others to worship me when they hear it. I am creating a testimony through your experiences that will give hope to countless others who will face similar valleys. Your life is not just about you. Your journey is not just for you. You are part of something much bigger than yourself. And when you finally see the complete picture, you will understand why every path was necessary. The story of Joseph illustrates this truth. Joseph was given dreams of greatness at a young age. He saw visions of his brothers bowing down to him, of his family recognizing his authority, of himself being elevated to a position of great influence. But the path to the fulfillment of those dreams was not what anyone would have expected. First, his brothers threw him in a pit and left him for dead. Then they sold him into slavery to foreign traders, heading to Egypt. Then he served faithfully in the house of Potiphar, only to be falsely accused by Potiphar's wife and thrown into prison. Then he helped interpret dreams for fellow prisoners, who promised to remember him when they were released, but immediately forgot about him for 2 full years. Pit to slavery, to service, to false accusation, to prison, to forgotten. Does that sound like the path to greatness? Does that sound like the right path? But every single step on that seemingly wrong path was actually leading Joseph to the exact right destination. He needed to be in Egypt, not Canaan. He needed to learn Egyptian language and culture. He needed to develop administrative skills in Potiphar's house. He needed to have access to Pharaoh's officials in prison. He needed to interpret dreams so that when Pharaoh had dreams that needed interpretation, Joseph would be remembered. Every pit was preparation. Every prison was positioning. Every delay was development. And when Joseph finally stood before Pharaoh and interpreted the dreams that would save not just Egypt, but the entire region from famine, when his brothers eventually came and bowed before him seeking food during the famine, just as his childhood dreams had shown, he understood. What his brothers meant for evil, I meant for good, to bring about this result, to save many people alive. I am doing the same thing in your life. The pits you have been thrown into are not random acts of cruelty by an indifferent universe. They are preparatory experiences, guided by a loving shepherd who knows exactly what you will need for the destiny I have prepared for you. The prisons you have found yourself in, whether literal or metaphorical, are not wasted time. They are classrooms where you are learning lessons you could not learn anywhere else. The delays that have frustrated you so deeply are not evidence that I have forgotten your dreams. They are proof that I am preparing something so magnificent that you need more development before you are ready to handle it. Trust me, I am your shepherd. I am guiding you along the right paths, even when they feel completely wrong. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Notice that David said through the valley, not in the valley permanently. The valley is a passage, not a destination. You are walking through it, which means there is an entrance behind you and an exit ahead of you. You are not stuck in this darkness forever. But I also want you to notice that David acknowledged the reality of the valley. He did not pretend it was not dark. He did not deny that death cast a shadow there. He did not minimize the danger or paint a falsely optimistic picture of the situation. The valley is real. The shadows are real. The threat of death is real. But so is my presence. And my presence is more real than any shadow, more powerful than any threat, more permanent than any valley. I will fear no evil because you are with me. This is the secret to walking through dark valleys without being destroyed by fear. It is not that you convince yourself that darkness is not real. It is not that you pretend there is no danger. It is that you fix your eyes on my presence, rather than on the shadows. When you focus on the darkness, fear grows. When you focus on me, faith grows. I have not abandoned you to face this alone. I have not stepped back to watch from a distance while you navigate the dangers by yourself. I am walking right beside you, step by step, breath by breath, moment by moment. My presence is so close that if you reach out, you will feel me. My voice is so near that if you quiet your soul, you will hear me. My love is so tangible that if you open your heart, you will experience it. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. The rod and the staff are tools of protection and guidance. The rod is a weapon the shepherd uses to fight off predators that threaten the sheep. When wolves approach or lions circle or bears emerge from the forest, the shepherd does not run away to save himself. The shepherd stands between the sheep and the danger and uses the rod to drive back the enemy. I fight for you in the same way. There are spiritual predators circling your life right now that you cannot even see. There are forces of darkness that would love to destroy you, to steal your peace, to kill your dreams, to devour your future. But they cannot touch you, because I stand between you and every threat. My rod drives them back every single time they approach. You are protected by a shepherd who has never lost a single sheep to any predator. The staff is used for guidance. It has a curved end that the shepherd uses to hook around a wandering sheep and pull it back to the path. It is also used to help sheep out of difficult places, hooking around them and lifting them to safety. I use my staff in your life constantly. When you start wandering toward danger, I pull you back. When you fall into pits you cannot climb out of on your own, I reach down and lift you out. My guidance and my rescue are constant realities in your life, operating whether you are aware of them or not. So many times you have been saved from dangers you never even knew were approaching, because my staff redirected your steps before you reached the cliff edge. So many times you have been lifted from depths that would have swallowed you if I had not intervened. You are more cared for than you know. You are more protected than you realize. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. This is one of the most powerful images in all of Scripture, and I want you to understand its full meaning for your life. A table represents provision, sustenance, fellowship, honor. When I prepare a table for you, I am saying that you are my guest of honor. I am saying that you are valued enough to receive the best I have to offer. I am saying that your needs will be met with abundance, not scarcity. But the remarkable thing about this table is where it is located. It is not hidden away in some safe room where no enemy can see it. It is set up right in the presence of your enemies, right where they can watch you being blessed, right where they can observe you being honored, right where they can witness you receiving provision they tried so hard to keep from you. Your enemies have worked tirelessly to destroy you. They have spoken words against you, plotted schemes to bring you down, celebrated when you struggled, mocked when you suffered. They thought they had won. They thought they had successfully blocked every blessing that was meant for your life. They thought they would never have to see you rise again. But they were wrong. Because I am your shepherd, and I have prepared a table for you right in front of them. They will watch you eat while they go hungry. They will watch you be honored while they are exposed. They will watch you receive double for your trouble, while everything they gained through treachery slips through their fingers. This is not about revenge, and I do not want you to gloat over their downfall. This is about vindication. This is about me showing the world and the spiritual realm that those who trust in me will never be permanently defeated. If you are ready to be seated at that table, speak now, I'm ready. Say it, imagine the table, receive it. You anoint my head with oil. In the ancient world, anointing with oil was a sign of special favor, blessing, and consecration. Kings were anointed before taking their thrones. Priests were anointed before beginning their service. Prophets were anointed before delivering their messages. When I anoint your head with oil, I am declaring that you are royalty in my kingdom, that you are set apart for a sacred purpose, that you are chosen for a destiny that will impact generations. The oil represents my spirit being poured out upon your life, empowering you to do things you could never do in your own strength. The oil represents healing flowing into every wounded place, restoration touching every broken part. The oil represents abundance overflowing from your life to bless everyone around you. My cup overflows, not just full to the brim, but overflowing. Not just enough for your needs, but more than enough. Not just survival provision, but abundance beyond what you could ask or imagine. This is what it means to have me as your shepherd. I do not give grudgingly or sparingly. I give generously, extravagantly, abundantly. When I bless until there is no more room to receive. When I provide until there is plenty left over to give away. When I restore until you have more than you ever had before. Your life will become a channel of blessing to countless others. The abundance I pour into you will splash out onto everyone around you, and they will know that you serve a shepherd who takes care of his own. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life. This is a declaration of confidence about the future, based on experience with the present. David was not engaging in wishful thinking or positive affirmation disconnected from reality. He was declaring truth based on what he had learned about my character through walking with me. He knew that my goodness and love would pursue him relentlessly every single day for the rest of his existence. Because that is what he had experienced from me already. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Goodness and love were not things he had to chase after, striving and straining to obtain. They were things that chased after him, following him wherever he went, catching up to him whenever he tried to run away, surrounding him whenever he stopped to rest. The same is true for you. My goodness and love are pursuing you right now, with relentless determination. You do not have to earn them. You do not have to be perfect enough to deserve them. You do not have to figure out some secret formula to attract them. They are already following you, have been following you since the day you were born, will continue following you until the day you take your final breath on this earth. And even then, they will escort you into my presence, where you will experience goodness and love in their fullness forever. You cannot outrun my goodness. You cannot hide from my love. You cannot disqualify yourself from my pursuit. I am coming after you with blessing and favor every single day, because that is who I am, and that is how I love those who belong to me. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. This is the ultimate promise for every child of mine. Physical death is not the end of your story. This temporary life on earth is just the prelude to eternal life in my presence. The valleys you walk through now, the tables prepared in the presence of enemies, the overflowing cup, the goodness and love that follow you, all of these are previews of coming attractions. The main event is still ahead. In my Father's house are many rooms. I am going there to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, so that you may also be where I am. Heaven is real. Eternity is real. The forever part of your existence with me is more real than anything you can currently see with your physical eyes or touch with your physical hands. Do not lose heart over temporary troubles when eternal glory awaits. Do not grow weary in well-doing when a harvest of joy is guaranteed. Do not give up hope when hope has already won the ultimate victory. Your shepherd has conquered death itself and holds the keys to hell and the grave. The worst thing that could happen to you in this life, physical death, is actually the doorway to the best thing that could happen to you, eternal life in perfect fellowship with me forever. So do not fear death. Do not fear the valley of its shadow. Do not fear the threats of enemies who can kill the body but cannot touch the soul. I am your shepherd, and I have already walked through death and come out the other side victorious. I will walk you through that same valley when your time comes, and you will emerge into glory beyond imagination. Now, let me tell you more about David, the one who wrote these words about me being his shepherd. Understanding his story will help you understand your own story better, because the principles that governed his life are the same principles governing yours. David was the youngest of 8 sons. He was so insignificant in his family's eyes that when the prophet Samuel came to anoint the next king of Israel, Jesse did not even think to bring David in from the fields. All the impressive older brothers were lined up, and Samuel was expecting to be told which one of them would be the chosen one. I said no to each of them, one by one, because I do not look at outward appearance, I look at the heart. Finally, Samuel asked if there were any other sons, and Jesse almost dismissively mentioned that the youngest was out with the sheep. The youngest, out with the sheep. not important enough to bring to a meeting with the prophet, not significant enough to be considered for anything special. But that overlooked shepherd boy was my choice. When David walked in from the fields, still smelling like sheep and probably covered in dust from the pasture, I told Samuel that this was the one. "Arise, anoint him." And Samuel did, pouring oil over David's head while his older brothers watched in shock. The Spirit of the Lord came upon David in power from that day. And though it would be many years before he actually sat on the throne, the anointing was already on his life. But here's what I want you to understand. The anointing does not exempt you from the process. David was anointed as king, but he spent years afterward running for his life from Saul, hiding in caves, leading a ragtag band of misfits in the wilderness, wondering if he would ever actually see the fulfillment of the promise that had been spoken over him. There were moments when he doubted. There were moments when he despaired. There were moments when he made terrible decisions born out of fear rather than faith. But through it all, I was his shepherd. Through every cave, every wilderness, every betrayal, every near miss with death, I was leading him, protecting him, preparing him, developing in him the character he would need to be a king after my own heart. Your anointing, the calling I have placed on your life, the destiny I have prepared for you, does not exempt you from your own wilderness seasons. You may be in a cave right now, hiding from enemies that want to destroy you, wondering if the promises spoken over your life will ever come true. You may be leading your own ragtag band of responsibilities and relationships, feeling completely unqualified and overwhelmed by what is expected of you. You may be making decisions you are not proud of, motivated by fear rather than faith. I am still leading you. I am still protecting you. I am still preparing you. The wilderness is not evidence that I have abandoned you. It is proof that I am developing something magnificent in you that requires this type of formation. David wrote some of his most beautiful psalms while hiding in caves from a king who wanted him dead. In the darkness and the danger, surrounded by uncertainty and fear, David found words to express trust. Your wilderness is producing something in you too. The character being formed in these difficult seasons will be the very character that sustains you when you finally step into your destiny. The intimacy with me that you are developing in these hidden years will be the foundation of everything you accomplish in your public years. Do not despise this season. Do not wish it away without receiving its gifts. Let the wilderness do its work in you. When David finally became king after Saul's death, the years of waiting had not been wasted. The caves had been his classrooms. The wilderness had become a workshop. The shepherd boy had become a war leader, a worshiper, a man after my own heart. And though David was far from perfect and would make devastating mistakes even after becoming king, he always knew how to return to me. He always knew how to repent. He remained my sheep, and I remained his shepherd until the day he died and entered into eternity. I am telling you this because I want you to know that your failures do not disqualify you from my shepherding. David committed adultery with Bathsheba and arranged the death of her husband to cover up his sin. These were not minor mistakes. These were devastating failures that ended many lives and brought great grief to me. But when David was confronted with his sin by the prophet Nathan, he did not make excuses. He did not justify himself. He did not blame others. He fell on his face and said, "Have mercy on me. According to your unfailing love, according to your great compassion, blot out my transgressions. Wash me and I will be whiter than snow." And I did. I forgave him. If you have failed, if you have fallen, if you have done things you are deeply ashamed of, hear me clearly. You are still my sheep. I am still your shepherd. Your sin does not change that reality. Your failure is not your ending. Some of the greatest victories in history have come from people who experienced devastating defeats before they rose again. Your defeat is not the final chapter. Your shepherd has written a comeback story for you that will leave everyone who knows you amazed at my grace and power to redeem. Let me now tell you the story of Abraham, another one who learned what it means to have me as his shepherd in the most profound way possible. Abraham, originally called Abram, was living comfortably in Ur of the Chaldeans when I called him to leave everything familiar and go to a land I would show him. Notice that I did not give him a detailed map with the final destination clearly marked. I simply said, "Go, and I will show you." This is how I often lead my sheep. I do not give you the complete picture up front, because if I did, you would either be too overwhelmed to start the journey, or you would try to get there by your own route instead of following me step by step. Abraham had to trust me as his shepherd. He had to be willing to take the first step without knowing where the second step would lead. He had to believe that the one calling him knew better than he did where his life should go. Abraham obeyed. He left his homeland, his relatives, his familiar surroundings, and set out for an unknown destination with nothing but my promise to guide him. And I made him a promise that seemed absolutely impossible given his circumstances. I told him I would make him into a great nation, that I would bless him and make his name great, that all peoples on earth would be blessed through him. But there was a problem. He had no children, and humanly speaking, there was no way they were going to have any. Yet I promised him descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. This is the kind of promise only a shepherd can make, a promise that requires supernatural intervention to fulfill. Because natural means have already failed. For years, Abraham waited. He grew older. Sarah grew older. The promise seemed more impossible with each passing year. And Abraham was not perfect in his waiting. He made mistakes. He tried to help me fulfill my promise through human schemes, having a child with his wife's servant Hagar, instead of waiting for the miracle son I had promised through Sarah. This created problems that echoed through generations. But despite his mistakes, despite his moments of doubt and impatience, I remained his shepherd. I remained faithful to my promise. And when Abraham was 100 years old and Sarah was 90, when there was absolutely no possibility from a human perspective, they had a son. They named him Isaac, which means laughter, because Sarah laughed when she heard the news. What had seemed laughably impossible became laughably real through my power. But then came the ultimate test of Abraham's trust. I told him to take Isaac, his only son, the son he had waited decades for, the son through whom all my promises were supposed to be fulfilled, and offer him as a sacrifice on a mountain I would show him. Can you imagine receiving such an instruction? Everything Abraham had hoped for, waited for, believed for, was wrapped up in this one child. And now I was asking him to give that child back to me in the most devastating way imaginable. This was not something that made any logical sense. This was a test of whether Abraham trusted his shepherd more than he trusted his own understanding. Abraham obeyed. Early the next morning, he took Isaac and set out for the mountain I had indicated. For 3 days they traveled, and during those 3 days, Abraham must have wrestled with questions and emotions that would tear any father apart. But he trusted that even if he could not understand my purposes, I was still good. I was still faithful. I was still his shepherd. When they reached the place, Isaac asked where the lamb for the sacrifice was, and Abraham gave an answer that revealed the depth of his faith. God himself will provide the lamb, he said. He did not know how I would provide. He did not know what form my provision would take, but he knew I would provide. At the last possible moment, when Abraham had bound Isaac and laid him on the altar and raised the knife to sacrifice him, I stopped him. Do not lay a hand on the boy. Now I know that you fear me because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son. And when Abraham looked up, he saw a ram caught in a thicket by its horns. I had provided. Abraham sacrificed the ram instead of Isaac and named that place, "The Lord will provide." And to this day, on the mountain of the Lord, it will be provided. This story has so much to teach you about what it means to have me as your shepherd. First, it teaches you that I sometimes ask you to surrender the very things I have given you. The blessings I pour into your life are gifts, but they are not meant to become idols. They are not meant to take my place in your heart. Sometimes I ask you to hold them loosely, to demonstrate that you trust me more than you trust the blessings themselves. I may never actually require you to literally give them up. What I am looking for is the willingness, the open hands, the heart that says, "Yes, Lord, even to this, because you are my shepherd, and I trust you completely." Second, this story teaches you that my provision often comes at the last possible moment. Abraham did not see the ram until after he had demonstrated his willingness to obey. If I had shown him the ram while they were still walking up the mountain, there would have been no test, no stretching, no growth in faith. The timing of my provision is as important as the provision itself. I am developing something in you through the waiting, through the not knowing, through the moments when it seems like provision will not come in time. Trust me, the ram is already caught in the thicket. The provision has already been arranged. You just cannot see it yet because the timing is not quite right. Keep climbing the mountain. Keep following your shepherd. Keep trusting even when you cannot see how things could possibly work out. Third, this story foreshadows the ultimate provision I made for humanity through my own son. Abraham was willing to sacrifice his only son, but I stopped him because there was a ram to take Isaac's place. When I sacrificed my only son, Jesus, there was no ram, no substitute, no last-minute intervention. I went through with it because there was no other way to provide salvation for my sheep. The lamb that Abraham said I would provide was ultimately fulfilled in the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. Every promise I make, every provision I offer, every act of shepherding I perform flows from that ultimate act of love. I spared not my own son, but gave him up for you all. And because I did, you can trust me with absolutely everything. Now let me tell you about Moses, who learned about shepherding in the most unexpected way. Moses was born under a death sentence. The Pharaoh of Egypt had ordered all Hebrew baby boys to be killed, and Moses should have been one of the victims. But his mother hid him for 3 months, and when she could no longer hide him, she placed him in a basket. That basket was found by Pharaoh's own daughter, who had compassion on the crying baby and decided to raise him as her own son. So Moses grew up in the palace of the very Pharaoh who wanted him dead, receiving the finest education Egypt could offer, living in luxury and privilege while his people suffered in slavery. At 40 years old, Moses tried to take matters into his own hands. He saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave, and in a burst of anger and attempted justice, he killed the Egyptian and hid his body in the sand. When Pharaoh found out, Moses had to flee for his life. In one day, he went from prince of Egypt to fugitive in the wilderness. Everything he had known, all his privilege and position, was stripped away. And where did he end up? Tending sheep in the wilderness of Midian for the next 40 years. 40 years. The man who had been raised in a palace, educated in the finest schools, groomed for leadership, spent 4 decades watching sheep in the desert. From the world's perspective, those 40 years were wasted. From my perspective, those 40 years were essential. Moses needed to learn humility before he could lead millions of people. He needed to learn patience before he could endure decades of wandering. He needed to learn dependence on me before he could call down plagues on Egypt and part the Red Sea. Most importantly, he needed to learn how to be a shepherd before he could lead my people Israel out of bondage. Every skill Moses developed watching those sheep in Midian would be needed when he led my human flock through the wilderness. He learned about leading creatures that often did not want to go where they needed to go. He learned about protecting vulnerable lives from predators. He learned about patience when progress seemed impossibly slow. The wilderness was not wasting Moses. The wilderness was making Moses. When I finally appeared to Moses in the burning bush and told him to go back to Egypt and demand that Pharaoh let my people go, Moses was a very different man than the impulsive prince who had killed the Egyptian 40 years earlier. He was humbled, uncertain of his own abilities, aware of his weaknesses and limitations. He made excuses to me, saying he was not eloquent enough, that the people would not believe him, that I should send someone else. But this hesitancy, which seemed like a lack of faith, was actually a sign that Moses had learned to depend on me rather than on himself. I do not need eloquent speakers. I do not need self-confident leaders. I need willing vessels. I need God-dependent followers. Moses had become exactly what I needed him to be, and I sent him back to Egypt with my power and my presence as his only credentials. What followed was one of the greatest displays of shepherding power in human history. I fought for my sheep against the most powerful nation on earth. I sent plague after plague to break Pharaoh's stubborn will. I protected my people from each devastation while the Egyptians suffered. I brought my flock out of Egypt with their heads held high, carrying the wealth of their oppressors as back payment for generations of unpaid labor. I opened the Red Sea so they could walk through on dry ground, and then closed it on the pursuing army. I led them with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. I fed them with manna from heaven and quail from the sky. I gave them water from rocks in the desert. I was their shepherd, and nothing they needed was withheld from them. But here is something important I want you to understand from Moses' story. Even after all those miracles, even after all that provision, My people still grumbled and complained. They still doubted me. They still wished they were back in Egypt, romanticizing their slavery, because at least in slavery they had known what to expect. They tested my patience repeatedly with their lack of faith and their stubborn refusal to trust me. And you know what? I remained their shepherd anyway. I did not abandon them in the wilderness because they disappointed me. I did not leave them to die of thirst because they complained about my provision. I stayed with them, led them, provided for them, protected them, even when they did not deserve it. This is important for you to hear, because you probably feel like you have disappointed me many times. You probably feel like your faith has been weak, your complaints have been loud, your trust has been fragile, and you are right. You have disappointed me at times. But I want you to know that I am still your shepherd. My commitment to you is not based on your perfect performance. My faithfulness is not contingent on your flawless faith. I am who I am, the good shepherd who lays down his life for the sheep, and nothing you do can change that fundamental reality. So stop beating yourself up for the times you have failed to trust me. Stop disqualifying yourself from my care because of your moments of weakness. Come to me as you are, imperfect but loved, struggling but shepherded, failing but forgiven. Moses never entered the promised land himself because of his own moment of disobedience, but he finished his race well. He transferred leadership to Joshua, blessed the tribes of Israel, climbed Mount Nebo to see the land from a distance, and died. I buried him myself in a valley in Moab, and no one knows where his grave is to this day. But his story did not end in that unknown grave. Centuries later, Moses appeared alongside Elijah on the Mount of Transfiguration, speaking with Jesus about what was about to be accomplished in Jerusalem. The shepherd of Israel was there to witness the Lamb of God, preparing to lay down his life for all the sheep of all the world. Let me now tell you about Ruth, a woman who found me as her shepherd in circumstances that seemed to promise only loss and sorrow. Ruth was not born into my covenant people. She was a Moabite, from a nation that had historically been enemies of Israel. But she married a young Hebrew man whose family had migrated to Moab to escape a famine. For about 10 years, Ruth lived as a wife in this foreign family, learning their customs and their faith. But then tragedy struck. Her husband died, his brother died, his father had already died. Ruth was left a widow along with her mother-in-law Naomi and her sister-in-law Orpah. All three women were now alone in a world that was incredibly harsh for widows without male protection and provision. Naomi decided to return to her homeland of Israel, and she urged her daughters-in-law to stay in Moab and find new husbands among their own people. Orpah eventually agreed and went back to her family. But Ruth refused to leave Naomi. In one of the most beautiful declarations of loyalty in all of Scripture, Ruth said, "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if even death separates you and me." Ruth was choosing to leave everything familiar, her homeland, her people, her gods, and follow Naomi to a foreign land where she would be an outsider, a stranger, a widow with no status or security. She was trusting that the God Naomi served was worth following, even into uncertainty and potential hardship. And I honored that trust. I became her shepherd, and I led her to green pastures in the most unexpected way. When they arrived in Bethlehem, They were two destitute widows with no means of support. But I had already prepared provision for them. I had established in my law that when farmers harvested their fields, they were to leave the edges unharvested so that the poor could come and gather grain. This was called gleaning, and it was how vulnerable people survived in my society. Ruth went out to glean in the fields, not knowing whose field she would end up in, but my hand guided her steps. She found herself in a field belonging to a man named Boaz, a relative of Naomi's deceased husband and one of the wealthy men of Bethlehem. Boaz noticed Ruth and inquired about her. When he learned of her loyalty to Naomi and her faith in me, he was deeply moved. He instructed his workers to leave extra grain for her to gather and to protect her from any harassment. He invited her to eat with his workers and drink from the water his servants had drawn. He became an instrument of my shepherding provision in Ruth's life. And eventually, he became much more. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. According to the customs of that time, a close relative could act as a kinsman redeemer for a widow, marrying her and raising up children in her deceased husband's name, ensuring that his line and inheritance would continue. Boaz was such a relative. And through a beautiful process that you can read about in the book that bears Ruth's name, the Moabite widow who had arrived in Bethlehem with nothing became the wife of one of the wealthiest and most respected men in the region. But that is not even the most remarkable part of her story. Ruth and Boaz had a son named Obed. Obed had a son named Jesse, and Jesse had a son named David, the shepherd boy who became king. The author of the psalm that declares, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Ruth, the foreign widow who chose to follow me into uncertainty, became the great-grandmother of Israel's greatest king. And the line did not stop there. From David's line came Jesus himself, the ultimate shepherd of the sheep. Ruth is listed in the genealogy of Christ, one of only 5 women mentioned in that royal lineage. This is what I do for those who choose to follow me, even when it does not make sense. This is how I shepherd those who trust me with their futures, even when the present looks hopeless. Ruth had no idea when she clung to Naomi and declared loyalty to Naomi's God that she was stepping into a story that would affect all of human history. She just knew that she was following, trusting, believing that I was worth whatever uncertainty lay ahead. You have no idea what I am setting up for you as you choose to trust me. You cannot see the connections I am making, the people I am positioning, the opportunities I am preparing. You just see your current circumstances, which might look a lot like Ruth's looked when she arrived in Bethlehem. Destitute, uncertain, with nothing but faith and a willingness to work with what little she had. But I am your shepherd. I see the bigger picture. I know the wealthy fields that are waiting for you to glean in them. I know the Boaz figures I am about to bring across your path. I know the legacy that will flow through your life for generations to come. Trust me, follow me, and watch what I will do. Now let me tell you about Elijah, a prophet who experienced my shepherding provision in some of the most dramatic ways recorded in Scripture. Elijah lived during a time of great apostasy in Israel. The king at that time, Ahab, had married a foreign princess named Jezebel, who brought the worship of Baal into the nation and persecuted those who remained faithful to me. Elijah was sent to confront this wickedness, and his first public act was to declare a drought over the land. As the Lord, the God of Israel, lives, he announced, there will be neither dew nor rain in the next few years, except at my word. This was an incredibly dangerous thing to say. Ahab and Jezebel were furious, and Elijah had to hide for his life. So I became his shepherd in a very literal sense. I told him to go to a specific brook called Cherith, east of the Jordan River, where he could hide from the king and drink from the stream. And then I provided for his food in the most unusual way imaginable. I commanded ravens to bring him bread and meat every morning and every evening. Think about that. Ravens are scavenger birds, known for eating whatever they find, not for delivering meals to humans. Yet I commanded them and they obeyed. Every single day, morning and evening, these wild birds brought Elijah exactly what he needed to survive. This is what I mean when I say that nothing shall you lack. When I am your shepherd, I am not limited to conventional means of provision. I have access to resources you know nothing about. When normal channels are blocked, I will open supernatural channels. When human help fails, I will send ravens if necessary. But eventually, the brook dried up because there was no rain in the land. The source of water that had sustained Elijah was gone. This happens sometimes in the life of faith. A provision that seems so secure suddenly disappears. A job that seemed stable ends. A relationship that provided support falls apart. When the brook dries up, it can feel like I have abandoned you. But the drying brook is not evidence of my absence. It is evidence that I am about to lead you to a new source. I sent Elijah to a widow in Zarephath, a town in Sidon, foreign territory, the very region where Jezebel had come from. I told him that I had directed a widow there to supply him with food. When Elijah arrived, he found the widow gathering sticks. He asked her for water. She said she had nothing but a handful of flour in a jar and a little olive oil in a jug. She was gathering sticks to make a fire, cook one last meal for herself and her son, and then they would die of starvation. This was the person I had directed to supply Elijah with food. This was the provision I had prepared. From the outside, it looked like I had sent Elijah from one desperate situation to another. But I wanted to demonstrate that my shepherding provision does not depend on abundance in natural circumstances. Elijah told the widow to not be afraid. He instructed her to go home and make the bread, but to first make a small loaf for him, and then make something for herself and her son. And he spoke my promise. The jar of flour will not be used up, and the jug of oil will not run dry until the day the Lord sends rain on the land. The widow obeyed, and the miracle happened exactly as I had promised. Day after day, week after week, month after month, through the entire duration of the drought, the flour and oil never ran out. There was always enough for her, her son, and Elijah. I multiplied what little she had so that it never ran out. This is what I do for those who trust me with their little. You may feel like you have nothing to offer, but if you will give your little to me, I will multiply it. I will make it stretch further than it has any natural right to stretch. I will provide for you out of resources that never run dry because they are connected to an infinite source. The story of Elijah has another chapter I want to tell you about. After the drought ended and Elijah had his tremendous victory over the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel, where I demonstrated my power by sending fire from heaven to consume his sacrifice, Jezebel sent a message threatening to kill him. And something unexpected happened. This bold prophet who had confronted an entire nation and called down fire from heaven suddenly collapsed in fear. He ran for his life, went into the wilderness, sat down under a broom bush and prayed that he might die. "I've had it enough, Lord," he said. "Take my life." I want you to see how I responded to Elijah in this moment of despair, because I respond the same way to you when you are depleted and despairing. I did not rebuke him for his lack of faith. I did not lecture him about how he should be stronger. I sent an angel to provide him with food and water and let him sleep. Then I did it again. I let him eat, drink, and rest until he had strength for the journey ahead. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do when you are depleted is eat something and get some sleep. Your body and soul are connected, and I care for both. After he was rested and nourished, I met with Elijah on Mount Horeb in a powerful encounter. I asked him what he was doing there, and he poured out his complaint. "I have been very zealous for the Lord God Almighty. The Israelites have rejected your covenant, torn down your altars, and put your prophets to death with the sword. I am the only one left, and now they are trying to kill me too." Elijah felt alone, forgotten, abandoned, like his efforts had made no difference and his life was worthless. I showed Elijah a powerful wind that shattered rocks, but I was not in the wind. I showed him an earthquake, but I was not in the earthquake. I showed him a fire, but I was not in the fire. And then came a gentle whisper. Sometimes I speak in dramatic demonstrations of power, but often I speak in the quiet voice that can only be heard when you stop running, stop striving, stop panicking, and simply listen. I gave Elijah new assignments and revealed to him that he was not alone, that I had preserved 7,000 in Israel who had not bowed to Baal. His perception of his situation was not reality. He thought he was the only one left. But I had been working in ways he could not see, preserving a remnant, preparing the next generation. Your perception of your situation is probably not accurate either. You may feel alone, but you are not. You may feel like nothing you have done has mattered, but it has. You may feel like there is no hope for your future, but I am already preparing things you cannot see. Let me tell you about Daniel, who experienced my shepherding protection in circumstances that should have meant certain death. Daniel was taken from his homeland as a young man when Babylon conquered Jerusalem. He was selected to serve in the king's court, trained in Babylonian language and literature, given a Babylonian name. Everything about his situation was designed to make him forget who he was and assimilate into the pagan culture that had conquered his people. But Daniel resolved in his heart not to defile himself. Even as a teenager in a foreign land surrounded by pressure to conform, he chose to remain faithful to me. Daniel rose to prominence in the Babylonian Empire because I gave him wisdom and favor. He interpreted dreams for kings, served as an advisor to rulers, and maintained his integrity through decades of political upheaval. When Babylon fell to the Persians, Daniel remained in power. He was so exceptional in his service that King Darius planned to set him over the entire kingdom. But Daniel's success created jealousy among the other officials, and they plotted to destroy him. They knew they could not find any corruption or negligence in Daniel's conduct because he was completely trustworthy. So they targeted the one area where he would not compromise: his faithfulness to me. They convinced King Darius to issue a decree that for 30 days no one could pray to any god or human except to the king himself, with the penalty being death in the lion's den. They knew Daniel would not stop praying. They knew his habits. They knew that 3 times a day he knelt before his window facing Jerusalem and prayed to his God. When Daniel learned of the decree, he did not hide his faith. He went home and prayed just as he had always done, with his windows open toward Jerusalem. His enemies were watching, and they immediately reported him to the king. Darius was distressed because he genuinely valued Daniel, but the law could not be changed. Daniel was arrested and thrown into the den of lions. But the king spoke words that revealed his own emerging faith. "May your God whom you serve continually rescue you." And I did. I sent my angel to shut the mouths of the lions. Daniel spent the entire night in a pit full of hungry predators, but he was safer there than in the king's palace. When the king came at dawn and called out, he found Daniel alive and completely unharmed. I had saved my servant from the lions because he had trusted in me. I am telling you this because you may be facing your own lion's den right now. Circumstances that seem certain to destroy you. Enemies who have set traps specifically designed to bring you down. Situations where there seems to be no way out and no hope for survival. But I am the same God who shut the mouths of lions for Daniel. I am the same shepherd who protects his sheep from predators that would tear them apart. If I kept Daniel safe in a pit of hungry lions, I can certainly keep you safe in whatever pit you find yourself in. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Notice that Daniel's faithfulness did not prevent him from being thrown into the lion's den. Sometimes following me leads directly into dangerous places. Sometimes obedience to my ways puts you in conflict with the powers of this world. Sometimes the reward for faithful service is persecution and opposition. But being in the lion's den with me is safer than being anywhere else without me. Daniel was more secure surrounded by lions with my protection than his enemies were in their beds without it. And in the end, Daniel was vindicated. His enemies were destroyed, and the king issued a decree that everyone in the kingdom must fear and reverence Daniel's God. Your vindication is coming too. Those who have set traps for you will be caught in their own snares. Those who have plotted your destruction will be destroyed by the very schemes they designed. And everyone will know that your God, the one you serve continually, is the living God who rescues and saves. Just keep being faithful. Keep praying with your windows open. Keep trusting me even when the lions are roaring. I am your shepherd, and I have never lost a single sheep to any predator. Now let me tell you about Lazarus, whose story teaches you something crucial about my shepherding love. Sometimes I wait when it seems like I should act immediately, and the waiting has purpose you cannot see until the end. Lazarus was a dear friend of mine, along with his sisters Mary and Martha. When Lazarus became seriously ill, the sisters sent word to me saying, "Lord, the one you love is sick." They knew I had healed countless others, many of whom I did not know personally. Surely I would rush to heal someone I actually loved. But I did not rush. I stayed where I was for 2 more days. I let the illness run its course. I let Lazarus die. I let Mary and Martha go through the agony of watching their brother slip away, and then going through the burial rituals and beginning their mourning. Martha met me on the road, and her first words were, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." There was pain in those words. There was probably some accusation too. Why did you not come? Why did you let this happen? Where were you when we needed you most? Mary said the exact same thing when she came to me. If you had been here, my brother would not have died. I wept right there in front of everyone. I wept not because I did not know what I was about to do, not because I had no power to change the situation. I wept because I felt their grief. I wept because I loved Lazarus and I loved his sisters, and watching them suffer moved me deeply. I want you to know that your suffering moves me too. When you hurt, I hurt. When you weep, I weep with you. Even when I have a plan, even when I know how things will turn out, even when the victory is certain, I still feel your pain in the process. Then I did something that shocked everyone. I went to the tomb and commanded Lazarus come out. And he did. A man who had been dead for 4 days, whose body had already begun to decompose, walked out of that tomb wrapped in grave clothes, but very much alive. I had waited not because I did not care, but because I wanted to do something greater than healing. I wanted to demonstrate resurrection. If I had come when the sisters first called, I would have healed a sick man. That would have been wonderful, but it would have been one more healing among many. By waiting until Lazarus was dead and buried, I revealed something far more profound about my power and my love. I showed that nothing is beyond my ability to restore. I showed that even death itself cannot have the final word when I speak. What looks like hopeless loss can become glorious victory when I am involved. You may be in a situation right now that feels like I have waited too long. The marriage did not get healed, it ended. The business did not get saved, it failed. The relationship did not get restored, it dissolved. The person you prayed for did not get healed. They died. You are looking at a tomb and wondering why I did not come when you called. But I want you to hear me. I am the resurrection and the life. Just because something has died does not mean it is beyond my power. I can resurrect dreams that have been buried. I can resurrect relationships that have been entombed. I can resurrect hope that has been wrapped in grave clothes. What you are looking at may look like the end, but with me, death is never the end. It is often just the setup for a resurrection that will make the original thing pale in comparison. Let me now tell you about Peter, one of my closest disciples, whose story perfectly illustrates what it means to be shepherded through failure and restored to purpose. Peter was a fisherman when I called him. He was rough around the edges, impulsive, quick to speak and act without thinking. But I saw something in Peter that made me choose him. I saw a heart that burned with passion, even if that passion sometimes led him in the wrong direction. I saw potential for leadership, even if that potential would take years of shaping before it was ready. I saw a rock waiting to be revealed beneath layers of sand. Peter was always in the middle of things. When I walked on water, Peter was the one who asked to come out and walk with me. When I asked who the disciples thought I was, Peter was the one who declared, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." When I spoke about my coming suffering and death, Peter was the one who rebuked me and said such things must never happen. When the soldiers came to arrest me in the garden, Peter was the one who drew his sword and cut off the ear of the high priest's servant. Everything about Peter was bold, dramatic, intense. And then came the night of my arrest. Peter had declared just hours earlier that even if all the other disciples fell away, he never would. He said he was ready to go with me to prison and to death. I told him that before the rooster crowed twice, he would deny me 3 times. Peter insisted even more emphatically that he would never deny me. But fear is a powerful thing. When Peter was sitting in the courtyard while I was being interrogated inside, a servant girl recognized him and said, "You also were with that Nazarene Jesus." Peter denied it. "I don't know or understand what you're talking about," he said. Later, another servant girl saw him and said to those standing around, "This fellow is one of them." Again, he denied it. After a little while, those standing near said to Peter, "Surely you are one of them, for you are a Galilean." He began to call down curses, and he swore to them, "I don't know this man you're talking about." Immediately the rooster crowed the second time, and Peter remembered the word I had spoken to him, and he broke down and wept bitterly. Peter had failed in the most public and painful way possible. He had abandoned his shepherd when the shepherd needed him most. He had denied even knowing the one he claimed to love more than life itself. Imagine the shame Peter carried in the days that followed. Imagine the self-condemnation. Imagine the feeling that he had disqualified himself forever from being a disciple, let alone a leader. But I was not done with Peter. After my resurrection, I sent a message to the women at the tomb. Go tell his disciples and Peter. Notice that I specifically mentioned Peter. I knew he would be feeling excluded. I knew he would be thinking of himself as a traitor rather than a disciple. So I made sure he knew he was still included, still invited, still part of my flock. And then on the shore of the Sea of Galilee, I had a private conversation with Peter. 3 times I asked him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" And 3 times Peter affirmed his love, grieving that I had to ask so many times. But for each denial, I gave him an opportunity to reaffirm his love. And for each affirmation, I gave him a command: feed my lambs, take care of my sheep, feed my sheep. I not only forgave Peter, I reinstated him. I entrusted him with the care of my flock. The man who had failed so spectacularly became the rock upon which I built my church. Peter preached the first sermon at Pentecost, where 3,000 people were saved. He led the early church through persecution and growth. He performed miracles in my name, and ultimately laid down his life for me, dying as a martyr who refused to be crucified in the same manner as his Lord because he felt unworthy. Peter's story is your story. You may have failed. You may have denied me with your actions, if not your words. You may have run away when things got hard. You may feel like you have disqualified yourself from my love and my purpose. But I am telling you today that your failure is not final. I am not done with you. I am calling you back to the shore to affirm your love and to receive your assignment. Feed my sheep, serve my people, share my love, live out the purpose I created you for. You are still chosen, still called, still loved. Listen to me, my child. I am your shepherd, and you are my sheep. That means we belong together. It means I am responsible for you, and I take that responsibility seriously. I will never leave you nor forsake you. I will be with you through every valley, on every mountain, in every green pasture, and beside every still water. Trust me, follow me, and dwell in my house forever. If this message stirred your heart, share it with one person who needs to hear it, or simply say amen right now. Seal this moment. I was not punishing Peter by asking 3 times. I was restoring him 3 times. I was giving him the opportunity to affirm his love as many times as he had denied knowing me. and I was commissioning him to do the very thing I do: shepherd the sheep. Peter, who had failed so spectacularly, was being entrusted with the care of my most precious possessions, the people I died for. This is grace beyond comprehension. This is shepherding that pursues, restores, and recommissions those who have failed. If you have failed me, hear this clearly. I am pursuing you right now with the same relentless love I pursued Peter. Do you love me? I am not asking about your performance. I am not asking about your track record. I am asking about your heart. Do you love me? If what you hear here stirs your heart, pause and say aloud, "Restore me." Then share this message with one person who needs to hear that restoration is possible. If the answer is yes, even a hesitant, broken, ashamed yes, then I have work for you. Feed my lambs, take care of my sheep. Your failure does not disqualify you. Your failure, when submitted to my grace, actually qualifies you in a unique way. You now understand mercy in a way that the self-righteous do not understand it. You now have compassion for the struggling that the perfect can never have. Your greatest failure can become the foundation of your greatest ministry, if you will let me restore you. Peter went on to preach the sermon at Pentecost that brought 3,000 people into my kingdom in one day. The man who had denied me before a servant girl stood before thousands and boldly proclaimed my name. Peter wrote letters that are now part of Scripture, letters that have guided and comforted millions of my sheep across 2,000 years. Peter led the early church through its most challenging days and eventually gave his life as a martyr for me, crucified upside down because he said he was not worthy to die in the same manner as his Lord. The denier became the defender. The failure became the faithful leader. This is what I do with those who let me restore them. Now, let me tell you about Gideon, who learned that my shepherding power does not depend on human strength or impressive resources. Gideon was hiding in a wine press, threshing wheat secretly, because he was afraid of the Midianite raiders who had been oppressing Israel for 7 years. The Midianites were so numerous and so ruthless that the Israelites had to hide in caves and strongholds, watching helplessly as their enemies destroyed their crops and stole their livestock year after year. It was into this climate of fear and despair that I sent my angel to speak to Gideon. The angel's greeting must have seemed like a cruel joke. "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Gideon was not feeling mighty. Gideon was feeling terrified. How could the angel call him a mighty warrior when he was threshing wheat in a wine press to keep it hidden from the enemy? But I was not describing Gideon as he currently saw himself. I was describing Gideon as I saw him, as he would become when he embraced the identity I was calling him into. Gideon argued with me. He asked, "If the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us? Where are all the miracles our ancestors told us about?" This is how it feels when you are in the middle of oppression and cannot see any evidence of my presence or power. Gideon felt abandoned, forgotten, written off. He could not understand how a God who had done such mighty works in the past could allow such suffering in the present. But I had not abandoned Israel. I was about to deliver them through the very man who was questioning my faithfulness. I commissioned Gideon to go in the strength he had. I promised I would be with him, and he would strike down the Midianites as if they were one man. But Gideon kept making excuses. He said his clan was the weakest in his tribe, and he was the least in his family. How could someone so insignificant accomplish something so great? I responded with the only answer that matters: I will be with you. My presence is the answer to every inadequacy you feel. When I am with you, it does not matter how weak or insignificant you are in your own estimation. What matters is how strong and significant I am. Gideon eventually believed me and assembled an army to fight the Midianites. 32,000 men answered the call. But I told Gideon the army was too large. I did not want Israel to be able to claim that their own strength had saved them. So I told Gideon to reduce the army, and finally, through a test involving how the men drank water, only 300 remained. 300 men against an enemy army that was so numerous, they looked like swarms of locusts. This made no military sense whatsoever. This was insanity by human calculation. But I was not operating by human calculation. I was demonstrating that my shepherding power does not require impressive human strength. I deliberately reduced Gideon's forces to an absurd minimum so that when victory came, no one could attribute it to military might. The victory would have to be attributed to me alone. I gave Gideon a battle plan. Each of the 300 men was equipped with a clay jar with a torch inside. In the middle of the night, they surrounded the Midianite camp. At Gideon's signal, they all blew their trumpets, broke their jars to reveal the torches, and shouted, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon." The Midianites woke up in confusion. In the darkness and chaos, they began fighting each other. The entire army fled in terror, and Israel won an overwhelming victory, without the 300 even drawing their swords. I am telling you this because you may feel like Gideon right now. You may feel weak, insignificant, overwhelmed by forces that vastly outnumber you. You may be hiding from your problems rather than confronting them, wondering how you could ever overcome what you are facing. If you feel like Gideon, don't leave this moment unchanged. Write down one small step of faith you can take today, no matter how small. Then commit it to someone who will hold you accountable. You may look at your resources and see nothing but inadequacy. But I am calling you a mighty warrior, not because of what you currently see in yourself, but because of what I see in you and what I will do through you. The same power that routed the Midianite army without a single sword being drawn is available to you. The same God who reduced an army so that the victory would clearly be attributed to him is working in your situation. The enemies that seem so numerous and so powerful will flee in confusion when I move on your behalf. You do not need a bigger army. You do not need more resources. You do not need to be stronger or smarter or better connected. You just need me. I am your shepherd, and I am more than enough to handle every enemy you face. Now, let me speak directly to the specific areas of your life where you need to know that as your shepherd, nothing shall you lack. Let me speak to your provision, your emotional well-being, your spiritual health, and your relationships. In each of these areas, I want you to understand what my shepherding means practically. I know that financial worries keep you awake at night. I know that you look at your bills and your bank account, and the numbers do not add up. I know that unexpected expenses have hit you repeatedly, and you feel like you can never get ahead. I know that you have wondered how you are going to make it through this month, let alone plan for the future. But I want you to hear me say clearly, I am your shepherd, and you shall not want. I am not unaware of your financial situation. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. I am not unaware of your needs. I see every bill on your table. I know every expense that is coming before it arrives, and I have already made provision for everything you need. I may not show you the provision in advance. I may let you walk to the very edge of the cliff before revealing that I have built a bridge, but the provision is there. It has always been there. You have never had a need that caught me off guard or exceeded my resources. Think about how I provided for Elijah at the brook Cherith. Ravens brought him bread and meat. Think about how I provided for the widow of Zarephath. A jar of flour and a jug of oil that never ran dry. Think about how I provided for the children of Israel in the wilderness. Manna appearing fresh every morning, water flowing from rocks, clothes and sandals that did not wear out for 40 years. I am creative in my provision. I am not limited to the ways you expect help to come. I can provide through unexpected sources, unusual circumstances, and miraculous interventions that you never saw coming. But I also want to adjust your understanding of provision. I do not promise to make you wealthy by the world's standards. I do not promise that you will never experience financial pressure or have to trust me through lean times. What I promise is that you will have what you need. If financial pressure is real for you today, take a moment and send the single word provision in the comments below, or send a private prayer request so we can stand with you in prayer this week. Your needs will be met. You will not lack anything necessary for the life I have called you to live. Sometimes I provide abundance, and sometimes I provide just enough. But in both cases, I am providing. And in both cases, you can trust that I know what I am doing. I also want you to understand that my provision often comes with participation. The widow had to use her last flour and oil in faith before she saw the miracle of endless supply. Ruth had to go out and glean in the fields before Boaz noticed her and became her provider. The disciples had to cast their nets on the other side of the boat before they caught the miraculous haul of fish. I often ask you to do something, to take a step of faith, to participate in the process before my provision fully manifests. Do not wait passively for money to fall from the sky. Ask me what steps I want you to take, and then take them in faith, trusting that I will bless the work of your hands. I know that anxiety has been your constant companion for so long that you have almost forgotten what it feels like to be at peace. I know that depression has cast its shadow over your days, making everything feel gray and meaningless. I know that you have been hurt so deeply by people you trusted that you have built walls around your heart to protect yourself from ever being hurt that way again. I know that some nights you lie awake, wondering if you will ever feel truly happy again, or if the best you can hope for is simply surviving from one day to the next. But I am your shepherd, and I want to lead you beside still waters. I want to restore your soul. The emotional turmoil you are experiencing is not your permanent condition. It is not your identity. It is not your destiny. It is a valley you are passing through, and on the other side of this valley are green pastures where your soul will finally find rest. I do not dismiss your emotions or tell you to simply try harder to feel better. I understand that emotional wounds are real and deep, and cannot be healed by positive thinking alone. What I offer you is my presence, my love, and my patient care as you walk through the healing process. I offer you the Holy Spirit, the Comforter, who comes alongside you in your pain and ministers peace to the deepest places of your being. I offer you truth to replace the lies that have been spoken over you and that you have come to believe about yourself. Some of your emotional pain comes from wounds inflicted by others. Parents who should have loved you, but instead criticized, neglected, or abused you. Friends who should have been loyal, but instead betrayed your confidence and abandoned you when you needed them most. Romantic partners who should have cherished you, but instead manipulated you and made you feel worthless. I see all of that pain. I grieve over every wound that was inflicted on you, and I want to heal every single one. Healing emotional wounds is not usually instantaneous. It is a process that happens over time as you bring your pain to me, receive my love, and allow truth to replace lies. But I promise you that if you will walk with me through this process, you will come out on the other side whole. The wounds that feel like they define you will become testimonies of my healing power. The pain that seems like it will last forever will give way to joy. The emotional desert you have been wandering in will bloom into a garden of peace and contentment. Part of your emotional healing involves forgiveness. I know there are people who hurt you so badly that forgiveness feels impossible. How can you forgive what they did? How can you let them off the hook when they have never apologized, never acknowledged they were wrong, never made any attempt to make things right? But here's what I want you to understand. Forgiveness is not about letting them off the hook. It is about letting yourself off the hook of bitterness that is poisoning your own soul. When you hold on to unforgiveness, you are drinking poison and hoping the other person gets sick. The bitterness is hurting you, not them. I am not asking you to pretend what they did was okay. I am not asking you to trust them or put yourself in a position to be hurt again. I am asking you to release them to me and let me handle the justice that is due. If there is someone you need to release, take this next breath and in your heart say the name and say, I release you to God. If you can, tell someone you trust that you took this step. An act of freedom can be contagious. I am asking you to choose by an act of will, not to let their actions continue to have power over your emotions and your life. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, as much as it is a gift you give the offender. And when you forgive, you create space in your heart for my healing to flow into the wounded places they created. Now, let me speak about your spiritual health. I know that your relationship with me has had its ups and downs. There have been seasons when you felt close to me, when prayer came easily, and my presence was almost tangible. But there have also been seasons of distance, seasons when you felt like you were just going through religious motions without any real connection. Seasons when you wondered if I was even real, or if you had been deceiving yourself all along. I know about the doubts you have never told anyone about. I know about the questions that feel too dangerous to ask. I know about the spiritual dryness that has made you wonder if you will ever feel alive in your faith again. I am not offended by your doubts. I am not threatened by your questions. I am not disappointed that your faith has wavered. I know that you are human, and humans struggle. What I want you to know is that even in your seasons of doubt and distance, I have never moved away from you. You may have felt far from me, but I have been right beside you the entire time, waiting for you to turn and see me there. The distance you felt was a feeling, not a reality. I am closer to you than your own breath, and nothing can separate you from my love. Your spiritual health is not measured by emotional experiences or feelings of closeness. It is not measured by how well you perform religious duties or how perfectly you maintain spiritual disciplines. Your spiritual health is measured by one thing: your trust in me. Do you believe that I love you? Do you believe that I am good? Do you believe that I am working all things for your benefit? Do you believe that nothing can separate you from my love? If the answer is yes, even a small struggling yes, then your spiritual health is better than you think. I want to help you grow in your relationship with me. I want you to spend time with me not because you have to, but because you want to. Because you have discovered that my presence is better than anything else you could be doing with your time. I want to speak to you through my word, revealing truths that will transform how you see yourself and your circumstances. I want to speak to you through prayer, not just listening to your requests, but also speaking to your heart, guiding you, comforting you, directing you. I want our relationship to be the most real, most vibrant, most life-giving relationship you have. If you'd like a short daily reminder of these truths, subscribe to the channel or follow this feed so a brief pastoral prompt can meet you each morning, a small, steady help to hear my voice. Now, let me speak about your relationships. I know that this area of your life has caused you tremendous pain and frustration. I know about the family conflicts that seem to have no resolution. I know about the friendships that have withered. I know about the loneliness that aches in your heart. I know about the broken relationships that haunt you, with memories of what used to be and questions about what went wrong. I know about the fear that keeps you from opening up to new relationships because you have been hurt so badly before. As your shepherd, I want to bring healing and restoration to your relationships. Some relationships can be reconciled and made stronger than they were before the break. Others may need to remain at a distance for your protection and health. But even in the relationships that cannot be restored, I can heal your heart from the pain they caused. Even in the situations where reconciliation is not possible or wise, I can bring you peace and closure. I also want to bring new relationships into your life. I want to surround you with people who will love you well, who will encourage you in your faith, who will speak truth into your life even when it is hard to hear, who will be there for you in your struggles and celebrate with you in your victories. You were not designed to walk through life alone. You need community. You need friendship. You need people who know the real you and love you anyway. But healthy relationships require healthy participation from you. I want to work on your heart so that you can be the kind of friend and family member and partner that others need. I want to heal the wounds that make you push people away. I want to address the fears that keep you from being vulnerable. I want to teach you how to love well, how to communicate effectively, how to resolve conflict in ways that bring people together rather than driving them apart. As you grow in these areas, you will find that your relationships improve naturally. In every area of your life, provision, emotions, spirituality, relationships. I am your shepherd, and you shall not lack anything you truly need. Not because you deserve it, not because you have earned it, but because I love you, and I have committed myself to your care. Rest in that truth. Let it sink deep into your heart. You are shepherded by the one who spoke galaxies into existence and counts every hair on your head. You are looked after by the one who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills and knows when a single sparrow falls to the ground. You are cared for by the one who loved you enough to lay down his life for you. With a shepherd like me, what could you possibly lack? Let me now speak to you about the battle you are in, because as your shepherd, I am also your protector, and there are enemies who want to destroy you. This is not just metaphorical language. There is a real spiritual realm, with real spiritual forces that oppose you. There is an enemy who is called a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. He attacks you specifically because of who you are and who you are becoming. He sees the potential I have placed in you, and he wants to destroy it before it can be realized. But I want you to understand something crucial about this enemy. He is a defeated foe. The battle has already been won. When I went to the cross and rose from the dead, I disarmed the powers and authorities and made a public spectacle of them, triumphing over them. Satan has no legal authority over you. He has no ultimate power over you. He has been stripped of everything except the ability to lie and deceive. His only weapon against you is deception, making you believe things that are not true. The enemy wants you to believe that you are alone, but you are not. I am with you always, even to the end of the age. The enemy wants you to believe that you are weak, but my strength is made perfect in your weakness. And when you are weak, then you are strong in me. The enemy wants you to believe that your situation is hopeless, but with me, all things are possible. And I specialize in making ways where there seem to be no ways. The enemy wants you to believe that I do not love you or that I have abandoned you. But nothing could be further from the truth. I have loved you with an everlasting love, and I have sworn never to leave you or forsake you. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. One of the enemy's favorite tactics is to use your own thoughts against you. He plants lies in your mind and disguises them as your own thoughts, hoping you will accept them without question. Thoughts like you are worthless, you will never change, nobody really loves you, God has given up on you, you might as well give up. These are not your thoughts, these are lies from the pit of hell. And I want you to start recognizing them as such. When those thoughts come, do not accept them. Challenge them. Ask yourself whether they align with what I say about you and my word. Replace them with truth. The truth is that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. The truth is that I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb, and I set you apart for a purpose. The truth is that you are my child, loved beyond measure, accepted completely, forgiven fully. The truth is that I have plans for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. The truth is that nothing can separate you from my love. Not death or life, not angels or demons, not the present or the future, not any powers, not height or depth, not anything else in all creation. This is the truth about you. And when you stand on this truth, the enemy's lies have no power over you. Your weapons in this spiritual battle are not carnal, but mighty through me for pulling down strongholds. Prayer is a weapon. When you pray, you are engaging in spiritual warfare, pushing back darkness, and inviting my kingdom to come and my will to be done in your life and circumstances. Worship is a weapon. When you praise me in the midst of your struggle, the enemy flees because he cannot stand the atmosphere of worship. Faith is a weapon, the shield that extinguishes the flaming arrows of the evil one. These weapons are available to you, and I want you to use them. But I also want you to remember that I am the one who fights for you. You do not have to win this battle in your own strength. The battle is the Lord's. I go before you as a warrior. I fight against those who fight against you. I am a shield around you, my glory, and the lifter of your head. When you feel overwhelmed by the spiritual opposition you face, remember that greater is He who is in you than he who is in the world. The same power that raised me from the dead lives in you. You are more than a conqueror through Him who loves you. The enemy may have been attacking you relentlessly, but I want to declare over your life right now that the tide is turning. The attacks are about to backfire. What the enemy meant for evil, I am turning around for good. The very things he did to try to destroy you are going to become the foundation of your victory story. The pain he inflicted is going to become your platform for ministry. The lies he spoke are going to be exposed by the truth that shines through your transformed life. You are not going to just survive this battle. You are going to come out of it stronger, wiser, more anointed, more effective than you were before you entered it. The enemy is going to regret ever targeting you, because the version of you that emerges from this valley is going to be a powerful threat to his kingdom. Now, let me speak to you about your identity, because this is perhaps the most important battleground of all. The enemy knows that if he can distort your understanding of who you are, he can distort how you live. If he can make you believe you are worthless, you will live worthlessly. If he can make you believe you are powerless, you will live powerlessly. If he can make you believe you are unloved, you will live in the desperation of the unloved, constantly seeking validation from sources that will never satisfy. But when you understand your true identity, when you see yourself as I see you, everything changes. You are my child. This is not a metaphor or a nice sentiment. This is your legal standing in the spiritual realm. When you put your trust in me, you are adopted into my family. You were given the full rights and privileges of a son or daughter of the King of Kings. You did not earn this position. You could not earn this position. It was given to you as a gift, purchased by my blood, sealed by my spirit. You are not a second-class citizen in my kingdom. You are not a beggar hoping for scraps from the master's table. You are family. You belong. You have a seat at the table. You have access to everything that belongs to me, because what belongs to the Father belongs to the children. You are chosen. Before the foundation of the world, before time began, before a single star was hung in the sky or a single atom spun into existence, I chose you. I knew you. I loved you. I set you apart for a purpose that no one else can fulfill. Your life is not an accident. Your existence is not random. You were specifically, intentionally, deliberately chosen by the Creator of the universe to be part of my plan for all eternity. When you feel overlooked or forgotten or insignificant, Remember that you were chosen before anything that overlooks you even existed. You are redeemed. Whatever you were before you came to me, that is not who you are anymore. You have been bought with a price, ransomed from the power of sin and death, liberated. Your past does not define you. Your mistakes do not determine your destiny. You have been redeemed, which means that everything about your history has been repurposed for my glory. The very things that shame you can become testimonies of my grace. The very failures that haunt you can become platforms for my power. You are forgiven completely, totally, absolutely forgiven. Not forgiven with conditions attached. Not forgiven pending future good behavior. Not forgiven provisionally, subject to revocation if you fail again. Forgiven, period. When you confessed your sins and received my grace, I threw your sins into the depths of the sea. I removed them as far as the east is from the west. I chose to remember them no more. So why do you keep diving into that sea to retrieve what I threw away? Why do you keep traveling east to find what I removed to the west? Why do you keep reminding yourself of what I have chosen to forget? If I have forgiven you, dare to forgive yourself. Let go of the guilt and shame that have weighed you down for so long. Walk in the freedom that my forgiveness provides. You are loved, not because you are lovable, though you are more lovable to me than you know. Not because you have done something to deserve love, though I delight in your efforts to please me. You are loved because I am love, and loving you is simply what I do. My love for you is not dependent on your performance. It does not increase when you do well or decrease when you fail. It is constant, unchanging, eternal. You cannot make me love you more by trying harder, and you cannot make me love you less by failing spectacularly. My love for you simply is as constant as my own existence, as unshakable as my own character. You are equipped. I have not called you to a life and then left you without the tools to live it. Every spiritual blessing in the heavenly places is yours in me. Every gift you need to fulfill your purpose has been given to you or is available to you. You have been given the Holy Spirit who lives within you, guiding you, empowering you, comforting you, teaching you everything I have said. You've been given access to the throne of grace, where you can come boldly to receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need. You have been given the Word of God, a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. You have been given the community of believers, brothers and sisters who will encourage you, challenge you, and walk with you. You are not lacking any resource necessary for the life I have called you to live. You are protected. You are hidden with me and the Father. You are sheltered under the shadow of the Almighty. You are surrounded by my presence on every side, behind you and before you, with my hand laid upon you. Angels have been assigned to guard you in all your ways. No weapon formed against you will prosper. No attack of the enemy will ultimately succeed. This does not mean you will never face opposition or difficulty, but it means that nothing can touch you without passing through my sovereign permission first. And anything I allow to touch you will be used for your good and my glory. Even your suffering is shepherded. You are destined. There is a future prepared for you that is so good, so beautiful, so beyond your current imagination, that if I showed it to you now, you would not believe it. I have plans for you. I wrote a book about your days before you drew your first breath. There are works prepared for you to walk in. There are lives that will be changed because of your existence. There are blessings that will flow through you for generations to come. You are not just existing. You are not just surviving. You are destined for greatness in my kingdom. A greatness measured not by worldly standards of fame and wealth, but by eternal standards of love and impact. When you understand your identity in me, you stop trying to prove yourself and start living from a place of security. You stop trying to earn love and start receiving it freely. You stop trying to perform your way into acceptance and start operating from acceptance already given. You stop looking for your value in achievements and possessions and relationships and start finding your value in the unchanging truth of who you are in me. Your identity is not something you have to create or achieve. It is something you have to receive and believe. Receive what I say. Believe it more than you believe the lies. Let your identity as my beloved child, chosen, redeemed, forgiven, loved, equipped, protected, and destined, shape every thought you think, every word you speak, and every choice you make. Now, let me give you some specific promises for the season ahead. These are not generic religious platitudes. These are words I am speaking over your specific life for this specific moment. Open your heart to receive them, because what I speak over you has the power to shape your reality. I promise you that I am completing what I started in you. I began a good work in your life the moment you first turned to me, and I am not going to abandon that work halfway through. There may be areas of your life that still feel incomplete, broken, underdeveloped, but I am actively working on every one of them. The character that is being formed in you through your current struggles is character that will last for eternity. The faith that is being tested is faith that will emerge purified like gold, refined in fire. The changes that are happening slowly, almost imperceptibly, are changes that will one day add up to a transformation so complete that you will hardly recognize the person you used to be. I promise you breakthrough in the area that has felt most stuck. You know what I'm talking about. That issue that you have prayed about for so long without seeing any change. That situation that has seemed immune to every approach you have tried. That wall that has blocked your progress, no matter how hard you have pushed against it. I am about to break through on your behalf. The walls are coming down. The obstacles are being removed. The path that has been blocked is opening up. Do not lose heart just because you have not seen results yet. The breakthrough is closer than you think. I promise you provision. You have been worried about having enough, but I'm about to show you what more than enough looks like. Financial doors are about to open that you did not even know existed. Opportunities for increase are about to come from unexpected sources. Resources that have been held back are about to be released in your direction. I am not going to give you just enough to barely survive. I am going to give you enough to thrive and overflow, enough to be generous with others, enough to demonstrate that your God is a God of abundance. I promise you healing in your body. I know about the health concerns that have worried you. I know about the symptoms that have alarmed you, the diagnosis that has devastated you, the prognosis that has stolen your hope. But I am the Lord who heals you. My healing power is at work in your body right now, at the cellular level, at the systemic level, at every level. Some healing will come gradually as your body responds to my sustaining grace. Some healing may come suddenly as my power intervenes in a way that defies medical explanation. Either way, I have heard your prayers for healing, and I am responding. I promise you restoration in your relationships. The broken connections will be mended. The friendships that have withered will be revived. The loneliness that has marked your life for so long will give way to meaningful connection with people who truly see you and value you. I am positioning people to come into your life who will be the kind of friends you have always longed for. I am working in the hearts of those who have been distant from you, softening their hearts, opening their eyes, preparing them for reconciliation. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. I promise you clarity about your purpose. The confusion you have felt about what you are supposed to be doing with your life is about to lift. The direction that has seemed unclear is about to become obvious. The calling that has felt distant and undefined is about to come into sharp focus. I am going to show you the specific ways I want to use your specific gifts for my specific purposes in this specific season. You will no longer wonder what you are supposed to do. You will know. I promise you doors opening that no one can shut. I am the one who opens and no one shuts, who shuts and no one opens. I have set before you an open door that leads to the future I have prepared for you. The opportunities that have been blocked are about to become available. The positions that have been closed are about to open. The access that has been denied is about to be granted. Walk through them boldly. I have opened them specifically for you. I promise you victory over the enemies that have been oppressing you. Not just survival, but victory. Not just holding on, but overcoming. Not just enduring, but triumphant. The forces that have been working against you are about to be scattered. The opposition that has been relentless is about to crumble. You will see with your own eyes what happens when I fight for those who belong to me. Your enemies will be put to shame. Their plans will backfire. Their schemes will collapse. And you will stand in the midst of your victory, knowing that you did not win it by your own strength, but by my power. I promise you peace that passes understanding. Not peace because your circumstances are peaceful, but peace in spite of your circumstances. A deep, settled, unshakable peace that comes from knowing that your shepherd is in control. You will stop being tossed back and forth by every wave of circumstance. You will stop being driven by anxiety about what might happen. You will learn to rest in me, even when everything around you is in turmoil. This peace is available to you right now. You do not have to wait until your problems are solved to experience it. It comes from my presence. I promise you joy that the world cannot give, and circumstances cannot take away. Not happiness based on external conditions, but joy rooted in eternal realities. Joy that bubbles up from the knowledge that you are loved, that you belong, that your future is secure, that nothing can separate you from my love. This joy will return to you, even after seasons of sorrow. It will fill your mouth with laughter and your lips with songs of praise. People will notice the joy in you and wonder where it comes from, and you will tell them about your shepherd, who restores your soul and leads you beside still waters. I promise you rest, not laziness, but genuine rest. Rest from striving to prove yourself. Rest from working to earn love. Rest from carrying burdens that were never yours to carry. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. For I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. I am inviting you into a different way of living, a way that flows from rest rather than striving toward rest. Let me carry the weight. Let me handle the outcomes. Your job is to trust and obey. My job is everything else. These promises are not just words. They are seeds being planted in the soil of your heart. Water them with faith. Nurture them with expectation. Protect them from the enemy who would try to steal them before they can take root. And watch them grow into realities that will transform your life. I am faithful to my word. What I promise, I deliver. Not one word of all the good promises I have given has ever failed. You can stake your life on what I have spoken over you. I want to address something that may be lingering in your heart. You may be wondering if you are worthy of them. You may be questioning whether someone like you, with your history, your failures, your weaknesses, could really receive such extraordinary blessings. Let me settle this once and for all. You are not worthy based on anything you have done. None of us are. If merit were the criteria for receiving my promises, no one would ever receive anything, because all have sinned and fallen short of my glory. Grace is the criteria, and grace by definition is undeserved favor. You do not have to be worthy, you just have to be mine. And if you have put your trust in me, you are mine. You were purchased with the highest price ever paid, the blood of my own Son. That purchase made you worthy, not based on your merit, but based on His. So stop disqualifying yourself from the blessings I want to pour out on you. Stop letting your sense of unworthiness block the flow of my grace into your life. Accept what I am giving. Receive what I am pouring out. You are worthy because I have made you worthy. Let me also speak to those who are waiting. Some of you have been waiting for so long that you have almost given up hope. You have prayed prayers that seem to have gone unanswered. You have believed promises that seem to have been forgotten. You have held on to hope that seems more unrealistic with each passing day. The delay you are experiencing is not denial. It is development. I am using this waiting season to prepare you for what is coming. I am using this delay to work things out in the circumstances around you that you cannot see. I am using this extended timeline to do something in you and through you that could not be accomplished in a shorter period. Think about Abraham waiting for Isaac. Think about Joseph waiting in prison. Think about Moses waiting in the wilderness. Think about David waiting in caves, while Saul sat on the throne that had been promised to him. None of these delays were wasted time. Every day of waiting was accomplishing something essential. And when the promises finally came to pass, it was clear that the timing was perfect, that any earlier would have been too early, that the delay had actually been a gift. Your waiting is accomplishing something essential too. I am preparing you, preparing your circumstances, preparing the people involved, preparing everything for the perfect moment of fulfillment. When it comes, you will look back and understand why it could not have come sooner. You will see the pieces that needed to fall into place, the character that needed to be developed, the obstacles that needed to be removed, and you will thank me for the waiting, even as you rejoice in the receiving. But while you wait, do not put your life on hold. Do not stop living fully in the present while you wait for the future. Bloom where you are planted. Bear fruit in this season, even as you anticipate the next season. Find things to be grateful for in the waiting. Serve others even while you are waiting to be served. Worship me even when you do not understand my timing. The waiting does not have to be empty. It can be full of purpose and meaning and growth if you will let it. I am your shepherd. I want you to really hear that, not just acknowledge it intellectually, but receive it deep in your heart as the foundational reality of your existence. I am your shepherd. That means you are my sheep. That means you belong to me. That means I have accepted responsibility for your care, your provision, your protection, and your guidance. That means nothing that happens to you is random or outside my sovereign oversight. That means every enemy you face, I face with you. That means every need you have, I commit to meet. That means every fear you feel, I am present to calm. That means every tear you cry, I am there to wipe away. The relationship between a shepherd and his sheep is one of complete dependence and total trust. The sheep do not provide for themselves. The shepherd provides. The sheep do not protect themselves. The shepherd protects. The shepherd knows the way and leads. The sheep do not have to figure everything out on their own. The shepherd has figured it out and simply asks the sheep to follow. This is the relationship I am offering you. Complete dependence on me, total trust in my care, following where I lead without needing to understand every step of the journey. I know that this level of dependence is frightening for some of you. You've been let down so many times by people you depended on that the idea of depending on anyone, even me, feels terrifying. But I am not like the people who let you down. I am not going to abandon you when things get difficult. I am not going to get tired of caring for you. I am not going to find someone better to shepherd and forget about you. I am faithful when everyone else fails. I am constant when everything else changes. I am reliable when nothing else is. Your past experiences with undependable people do not define what you can expect from me. I am different. Give me a chance to prove it. Let me speak to you now about the sweet words you need to hear, the words of tenderness and affection that your soul is starving for. I know that the world can be harsh and critical, constantly pointing out your faults, constantly demanding more from you than you feel able to give, constantly making you feel like you are not enough. But I am not the world. I do not relate to you through criticism and demand. I relate to you through love and invitation. And I have sweet words I want to speak over you, words that will heal the wounds left by all the harsh words you have received. You are beautiful to me. I am not talking about physical appearance, though I designed every feature of your face and body with intention and care. I'm talking about a deeper beauty, the beauty of a soul that loves me despite everything. The beauty of a heart that keeps reaching for me, even when it feels far away. The beauty of a spirit that refuses to give up, even when giving up would be easier. When I look at you, I see beauty that takes my breath away. I see the masterpiece I created, the work of art I signed my name on. Do not let anyone convince you that you are ugly or worthless or undesirable. They do not see what I see. They are looking at the surface, while I am looking at the substance. You are beautiful to me, and my opinion is the only one that matters. You are valuable to me. Your worth is not determined by your productivity, or your usefulness, or your success by worldly measures. Your worth was established before you ever did anything, before you could succeed or fail, before you could prove yourself or disappoint. Your worth was established in my decision to create you, in my love that formed you, in the price I paid to redeem you, Even if you never accomplished another thing in your life, even if every project failed and every relationship dissolved and every dream died, you would still be infinitely valuable to me. Your worth is not something you can lose, because it is not something you earned in the first place. It is something I gave you. This may be the hardest thing for you to believe, because you are so aware of your failures and shortcomings. How could someone like me bring joy to the Creator of the universe? But I want you to understand that you are not a disappointment to me. Yes, I see your failures. Yes, I know your shortcomings, but I do not focus on those things when I look at you. I focus on who you are becoming. I focus on the progress you have made, not just the distance left to go. I focus on your heart, which despite everything still beats for me. I focus on your faith, which despite all the reasons to doubt still reaches for me. And yes, you bring me joy. You specifically, not humanity in general, not believers as a category. You personally bring joy to my heart. I am proud of you, not because you have done everything right, but because you are still here, still fighting, still believing, still showing up despite everything. I am proud of the courage you have shown in circumstances that would have destroyed others. I am proud of the kindness you have extended, even when no one extended kindness to you. I am proud of the faith you have maintained, even when doubt seemed more reasonable. I am proud of the times you got back up after being knocked down, the times you chose love when hate would have been easier, the times you forgave when unforgiveness was justified by human standards. You've given me countless reasons to be proud of you, and I delight in you. There's a verse in my word that says, I will rejoice over you with gladness. I will quiet you with my love. I will exalt over you with loud singing. This is not just poetry. This is reality. I actually sing over you. I actually rejoice because you exist. I actually delight in the person I made you to be. You are not a burden to me. You are not a problem I have to deal with. You are not a project that I am frustrated with because it is taking so long. You are my delight. When I think about you, joy rises in my heart. When I watch you, I smile. When I hear you call my name, I lean in with eager attention. You are delightful to me. These are the sweet words your soul needs to hear. Let them sink deep. Do not deflect them with false humility. Do not reject them because they do not match how you see yourself. My vision is clearer than yours. My perspective is more accurate than yours. If I say you are beautiful, valuable, a source of joy, someone I am proud of, someone I delight in, then that is the truth. Regardless of how you feel about yourself, I want you to understand something about how I communicate my love to you. I speak to you constantly, not just through these kinds of messages, but through countless other channels as well. I speak through my written word, the scriptures that I breathed out through human authors across thousands of years, scriptures that remain living and active, able to pierce to the division of soul and spirit. I speak through the beauty of creation, the sunrise that declares my faithfulness every morning, the stars that proclaim my glory every night, the flowers that display my artistry, the mountains that demonstrate my majesty. I speak through circumstances, opening doors and closing doors, arranging meetings and preventing disasters, orchestrating events to accomplish my purposes in your life. I speak through other people, putting words in their mouths that you need to hear, sending them to encourage you when you are discouraged, to challenge you when you are complacent, to comfort you when you are grieving. I speak through the Holy Spirit within you, that still small voice that guides and convicts and reminds you of my truth. I speak through dreams sometimes, and through inner impressions, and through that sense of knowing that cannot be explained rationally but is real nonetheless. I am constantly communicating my love to you. The question is not whether I am speaking, but whether you are listening. So much of your spiritual growth comes down to learning to hear my voice, amid all the other voices clamoring for your attention. The world is loud. Your own thoughts are loud. The enemy's lies are loud. But my voice is often a gentle whisper, easily drowned out if you are not deliberately listening for it. I want you to cultivate the practice of listening, creating spaces of silence in your life where my voice can be heard, turning down the volume on other voices so you can hear what I am saying. The more you practice listening, the more familiar my voice will become, and the more easily you will recognize it amid the noise. Hear me now as I speak directly to you about your future. I want you to stop looking at your future through the lens of your past. Your past is full of patterns that did not work, relationships that ended badly, efforts that failed, dreams that died. If you project those patterns into your future, you will expect more of the same, and your expectations will become self-fulfilling prophecies. But I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am the God who makes all things new. Instead of imagining more of the same struggle and disappointment, imagine breakthrough. Instead of imagining more scarcity, imagine abundance. Instead of imagining more loneliness, imagine community. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Instead of imagining more defeat, imagine victory. Your imagination is a powerful thing. When it is aligned with my promises, it becomes a form of faith that draws those promises into reality. I am not asking you to engage in wishful thinking disconnected from truth. I am asking you to let the truth of my promises shape what you expect and imagine and hope for. You are entering a season of favor. Doors that have been closed will open. Opportunities that seemed impossible will present themselves. People who can help you achieve your purpose will be strategically placed in your path. Favor with God leads to favor with people, and both kinds of favor are being released over your life right now. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, receiving the right opportunities. This is not luck or coincidence. This is the supernatural favor of your shepherd, orchestrating circumstances on your behalf. You are entering a season of harvest. You have sown many seeds in tears, seeds of prayer, seeds of faith, seeds of obedience, seeds of generosity. Some of those seeds were sown so long ago that you have forgotten about them. But I have not forgotten. Every seed is recorded. Every act of faith is remembered, and now the harvest is coming. You will reap what you have sown, but you will reap more than you sowed, because that is how my economy works. One seed produces a stalk, and that stalk produces many seeds, and those seeds produce many more stalks. What you gave in small measure will return to you in large measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. You are entering a season of revelation. Things that have been hidden are going to be revealed. Truths that have been obscure are going to become clear. Questions that have haunted you for years are going to be answered. I am going to show you things you could not see before. Explain things you could not understand before. Connect dots that seemed completely unrelated. Your spiritual eyes are being opened. Your understanding is being enlightened. The spirit of wisdom and revelation is being poured out on you, and you will know me better than you have ever known me before. You are entering a season of joy. The heaviness that has pressed down on you is being lifted. The mourning that has marked your days is being turned to dancing. The ashes of burned dreams are being exchanged for beauty. Joy is not just a feeling. It is a strength, and I am strengthening you with joy that will sustain you through whatever challenges remain. This joy is not dependent on circumstances. It comes from me, from knowing me, from being secure in my love. And no one will take your joy from you, because it is anchored in realities that no one can touch. You are my sheep. You hear my voice, and I know you, and you follow me, and I give you eternal life, and you will never perish, and no one will snatch you out of my hand. My Father who has given you to me is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch you out of my Father's hand. You are doubly secure, held in my hand and held in the Father's hand. There is no safer place in all of existence than in the hands of the shepherd who loves you. I want to declare something over you right now. Receive this declaration as a prophetic word spoken over your life. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not abandoned. You are not alone. You are known by name by the God of the universe. You are loved with an everlasting love. You are chosen for a purpose that only you can fulfill. You are equipped with everything you need for life and godliness. You are protected by power that nothing can overcome. You are provided for by resources that will never run out. You are heading toward a future that will exceed your wildest dreams. You are going to make it. You are going to overcome. You are going to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. The Lord is your shepherd. You shall not want. He makes you lie down in green pastures. He leads you beside still waters. He restores your soul. He guides you along the right paths for His name's sake. Even though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you will fear no evil, for He is with you. His rod and His staff, they comfort you. He prepares a table before you in the presence of your enemies. He anoints your head with oil, your cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow you all the days of your life, and you will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. This is not just a song. This is your reality. This is what is true about your life right now and forever. Believe it, receive it, live in it. Let the truth of being shepherded by the Lord of Lords transform every area of your existence. You have a shepherd who will never abandon you, never fail you. Rest in that truth. Walk confidently in that assurance. Face your future with courage because of who walks beside you. I want to pray over you now as we come to the close of this message. Do not just read these words. Receive them as my blessing being pronounced over your life. Receive them as divine power being released into your circumstances. Receive them as heaven opening and provision being poured out. I bless you with peace, not the fragile peace the world offers, which crumbles at the first sign of trouble, but my peace, which passes all understanding, which guards your heart and mind, which remains steady in every storm. May peace flood your soul right now and wash away every trace of anxiety and fear. I bless you with provision. May every need in your life be met, not barely, but abundantly. May you always have enough and more than enough. May you never lack for any good thing. May resources flow to you from expected and unexpected sources. As I demonstrate that I am a faithful provider, I bless you with protection. May you be hidden in the shadow of my wings, safe from every attack of the enemy. May your family be protected, your home be protected, your health be protected, your future be protected. May angels surround you and guard you in all your ways. I bless you with purpose. May clarity come to your calling and direction come to your path. May you know what you are supposed to do and have the courage and strength to do it. May your life count for something eternal, something that matters, something that outlasts you. I bless you with relationships. May you be surrounded by people who love you well. May broken relationships be healed and healthy relationships be deepened. May you never walk through life alone. May you find your tribe, your community, your people who will journey with you and support you and challenge you and celebrate you. I bless you with healing. Whatever is broken in your body, may it be restored. Whatever is wounded in your emotions, may it be healed. Whatever is damaged in your spirit, may it be made whole. May the healing power of my presence touch every part of you and leave nothing broken. May you see through deception and avoid traps. May you know when to act and when to wait, when to speak and when to be silent, when to hold on and when to let go. May wisdom guide your every step. I bless you with favor. May doors open for you that open for no one else. May opportunities come to you that you did not seek. May people want to help you, want to promote you, want to see you succeed. May favor surround you like a shield everywhere you go. I bless you with joy. May happiness return to your heart and laughter return to your lips. May the darkness that has overshadowed you lift and brightness fill your days. May you experience the joy of the Lord as your strength, a joy that does not depend on circumstances, but flows from the unchanging reality of my love. I bless you with hope. May you expect good things from me. May you look to the future with anticipation rather than dread. May you believe that the best is yet to come and live in the light of that belief. May hope anchor your soul and keep you steady through every storm. I bless you with faith. May your trust in me grow deeper and stronger every day. May doubts dissolve in the light of my faithfulness. May you believe what I have promised without wavering, and may that faith move mountains on your behalf. I bless you with love. May you experience my love in increasingly tangible ways. May you feel loved by me, surrounded by my affection, secure in my acceptance. And may that love overflow from you to others, making you a channel of blessing to everyone you encounter. You are blessed not because of anything you have done, but because of who I am and who you are to me. You are my sheep and I am your shepherd. This relationship is the foundation of every blessing. As long as you are mine and I am yours, blessing is your portion. Receive it, walk in it. Share it with others who need to know that they too can have a shepherd who loves them and will never let them go. I love you. I have said it many times in this message, and I will keep saying it because it is the most important truth I can communicate to you. I love you not because you are good enough, or worthy enough, or faithful enough. I love you because love is who I am, and loving you is what I have chosen to do for all eternity. My love will not stop. My love will not fade. My love will not be taken away. It is yours forever, an inheritance that can never perish, spoil, or fade. You are loved. You are mine. I am your shepherd, and you will never ever lack anything as long as you walk with me. My beloved child, as these words come to their end, I want you to carry them with you, not just as a pleasant memory of something you once heard, but as living truth that shapes your daily reality. Every time fear rises up, remember that your shepherd is with you. Every time need threatens to overwhelm you, remember that your shepherd provides. Every time darkness closes in, remember that your shepherd's rod and staff are there to comfort and protect. You are not walking through this life alone. You have never been alone, and you will never be alone. I am your shepherd, and I am with you always, even to the end of the age. Go now in peace. Go now in confidence. Go now in joy. Go now in the full assurance that the God who holds the universe in his hands holds you in those same hands and will never ever let you go. I am your shepherd. I love you and nothing shall you lack. If this message touched your heart, do 2 quick things right now. Share it with someone who needs to hear these words, and type Amen. Where you're watching or listening to, let others know you received it. If you'd like prayer, write pray, and we will join you in lifting this need up. Amen.